what I realised
Yeah.
is we've become relationship experts
That's a
overnight.
That's a fact.
So like we've actually became relationship experts. Like we might just make a relationship podcast, call it something else.
That makes sense.
Late night talks. I don't know what they're called.
Ooh,
I don't know what they're called.
Okay.
But there's some podcasts, isn't it? There is actually some podcasts. One podcast I see is Sex Talk with Emily. You ever come across that?
American gal.
Yeah.
I thought actually she posted some good stuff.
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Some good stuff.
The slides. You see the multiple slides?
Yeah. You just go through the slides and it shows. Yeah, so it works. And I think over the past week or so, we've had a lot of feedback and a lot of discussion around our topic around
specifically cheating, innit?
Yeah. What was the topic? What's wrong with cheating? And I think we've had a lot of feedback.
Interesting feedback, to be fair.
Mainly by the females.
Yeah, I don't know why they feel they're so triggered.
Yeah, it triggered a lot. I think we've had some interesting conversations. So carrying on that concept, I think we're going to talk again about relationships.
It only makes sense.
So my brother, do you want to introduce what this topic is about?
Okay, cool. So obviously, Mr. Loverman. Not me, I'm talking about,
That's what I was saying over there, Carl. Okay.
Oh, is it me? All right.
I don't know, is it you?
I don't think so. But I just think it's really important. Do you know what? I look at certain people who've achieved a lot of things in their lives.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is because of the partner that they're with or that's helped them on their way. Do you know what I mean? I think one of the most important questions to answer is who you're gonna spend life with.
Yeah.
That's a really important decision. So let's have a conversation, brother.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about relationships. So does every box need to be ticked to be in a relationship?
Okay. You have to give that moment pause to think.
The reflection.
Do you know what? I think if you're going into a relationship with a tick list, you've already failed in that relationship.
You failed in that relationship?
That's what... Yeah, you as the person. So if you're going in, say like, so I've been with someone that had like a 10 tick list, yeah?
Oh yeah.
spoke to them before.
Yeah.
They said this is their 10 list. This is what they need, yeah?
They literally had a list.
Yeah, physical list.
Okay.
You know them people that do the
intentions,
think boards,
and
this board and
dream
that
board
and dream boards. So it was like one of them physical lists.
Okay.
On a piece of paper, written down physical list. Yeah. So I'm looking through the list. I'm saying, but I don't match these. I don't match what this is. So why are you trying to pursue something with me when I don't match? And it was like, wow, the list is flexible. Like there may be some things where you're over on, and some things you don't. So I'm like, what's the point of having a list then? Because then you like me for who I am. Like, I'm not gonna be that list because in my eyes that list didn't exist. That person does not exist. Like, there's not a person in the world that ticks all of those boxes. From my point of view. But obviously to them, there is a person. But I wasn't that person.
Okay.
But yeah, they pursued a relationship with me. So that's what I'm saying. I just don't know if going into a relationship with a tick list is dooming a relationship from the start. Unless you're willing to accept that you're not going to get all your boxes ticked.
So I think that's dope. That's a good point to make. I think it depends on the list.
Yeah.
Because if your list is they have to be breathing, then that's a good thing to start.
I know a few man them that say all them lists consists with is born biologically as a woman, identifies as a woman. That's it.
Yeah. Facts. So I guess the content of the list is important.
Yeah.
And I because I believe that like relationships are very important.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be, I don't know if it's criteria. I don't know if criteria is the right word, but I think we've all got an unwritten list.
Do you know what I think it comes down to? Negotiable and non-negotiable.
Okay, yeah, facts, that's good.
I think that is literally what a relationship list looks like.
That's a fact.
I think it's negotiable, non-negotiable.
And okay, so let's talk more about that then. So what, do you have non-negotiables? Unnegotiables?
Yeah.
Anything that you could say out loud, or
smoking.
Smoking. Okay, you're not for the smoking.
Nope. So for me, smoking's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like I 100% don't want to be with a smoker
in any form of smoking capacity.
Well, like not like a smoker,
like smoker. Okay, yeah.
So people that smoke cigarettes that go out.
Yeah.
So like that's just not for me, and I'm not saying that I'm better because I don't want, but that's just if I was having a conversation, getting to know someone, if they was a full-time smoker, then that's not for me.
Yeah. So you might have fun with that individual. There might be limitations to your relationships, but you wouldn't actually go into a full-blown relationship with that person.
Well, yeah. Okay, so it's a non-negotiable, but there may be
that's true.
Like if they're social smokers or only once in a while, but you know what I'm saying? It's not really for me. And people say you shouldn't say what, but that's just me, innit? That's up to me what I want.
That's a fact. I think non-negotiables are good.
So what about you? So you ducked that one.
I thought.
Like, are we talking about non-negotiables or negotiable?
Do you know what it is?
No, we need non. What are non-negotiable?
Do you know what the difference?
I can't even say the word now.
The difference for me is, there's people I can have fun with and date, but I can't have a serious relationship with. Does that make sense? Like a long-term relationship with. So
we're talking relationship.
So So but the thing is, when I view relationship, I might view it differently to other people. So some people might think, oh yeah, I'm getting in this relationship or whatever. It's like they're not long-term thinking. For me, I'm more of a long-term thinking. Like, is this someone I can build a future with?
The kingdom.
Rather than just a little, we'll see where it goes. I'm not really on the see where it goes kind of flex. So yeah, you want to hear a list? You want to hear not my list?
No. I want to hear your list. I'm saying for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I have a set stone non-negotiable. Probably that's like not racist.
Yeah.
Like that's probably, you know, that's probably hard. But or something like that. At least not in jail.
Yeah, facts.
Like that kind of things there. Like
now, but for me, like I have non-negotiables, but somebody could change my non-negotiables.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm open for the fact that this girl is actually different. She's actually changing my thought pattern. So one of the things I would say is long-term relationships. I've got to be honest in it. I don't know. Yeah. Don't hate me on this though, but they have to agree with me culturally.
Yeah, that's fair though.
But
what's wrong with that?
Because I really want to say, they got to be black, innit?
But remember how long ago Kamar come on here and talked about he can't see himself. When we did, well, obviously you weren't there, My White Queen.
Yeah.
When we did My White Queen, and we were talking about obviously 3 out of 4 of us in that podcast, in that episode, had white girlfriends. Kamar come on and said, listen, I don't see myself with a white girl. That's it. Done. You don't have to explain yourself.
You don't have to, but sometimes it just makes sense to it. I don't want it to affect other relationships I have. Like I know only people that are Caucasian, Asian, Indian, Chinese, and this, that, and the other. So it's not like I don't like you as a person. It's just that I think because I'm a person with kids and my kids are black. Like I prefer just to continue that line.
Well, I don't, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't, and I think exactly the same thing can be said if a white person sat here and said, I just don't see a cultural resemblance with a black person.
Yeah.
You know them ones? So I think it works both sides. Like you can't be said to be racist because you're not attracted to a different person. Even if you're not attracted to a different colour.
Yeah.
That's just might not be what you like. Some people like blue eyes, some people like brown eyes,
facts.
Some people like green eyes. You know them ones?
And for me, it's not an attraction thing, it's a relationship thing. Because I'm thinking about a relationship, then it's the specifics, innit?
So you're saying you can be attracted
to
someone, but you might not pursue a relationship because of the cultural differences.
Yeah. Like you might see me running around with someone. You know what I mean? You might see me running around with someone. It's just, you know what I mean? It is what it is. For that
Becky with the good hair and that, but at home you're looking at Lucretia. Okay, I feel like a fool in time. You're cool. You're cool to be seen with Becky with the good hair
But again, another thing that I think about, it just may come into contact with this, is because I'm not sure if I agree or believe, or I don't believe that there's one person out there for you.
Okay.
So when
like a soulmate.
A soulmate, yeah. So you might have a list of 10 things. You might say, the person who's got these 10 things, I believe is going to be the person for me because there's only one person out there that's for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't necessarily agree with any of that in any way, shape, or form. So I think that you can have a good relationship with somebody and make a decision in your head to say, yeah, this is the person for me, and therefore be with that person. Does that make sense? So to me, it's not like there's necessarily a otherworldly thing that has put us together, and therefore we have to be. Yeah, it's not really that for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
So all right. On the flip side,
talk it.
Are you open to swap your non? So if someone's looking for something from you,
yeah,
and they want, I don't know, they want something that you're not willing to give at the time, are you willing to negotiate with them?
To be fair, I can negotiate any and everything of my list.
So you know what comes to it a lot? Sorry, kids.
Yeah.
So girls might be like, you know what? I want kids by the time I'm 25, or and you're like, boy, I didn't really have kids until I was 30, 35. Kids is massive. That's massive.
That's a huge move.
But I think that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Like if you want to start a family at 25 and that's your dream, and someone else doesn't want to start it till later in life, they should be non-negotiables.
Yeah. But that's the same within the sense of like not having kids or having kids. Like those make sense to have be non-negotiable negotiables, and those for some people change as well.
Yeah. That's like, so that was my point at the start. Sorry.
So you may think at like at 30 you don't want to have kids, or like at 25 you don't want to have kids, and then you hit 30 and you're like, right, actually I do want a kid.
Yeah.
Or you might say I've only got one, and actually I do want 6. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those kind of things are certain for me, and for me also like. You have to like a non-negotiable for me is are you family orientated? Like, do you hate your mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, auntie? Do you know what I mean? To me, that just spills bad energy for me. 100%. I'm not sure if I can agree with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean she couldn't sway me. That's what I'm saying. So even though I've got a list or I've got non-negotiables, if the connection with that individual is so good, I'm gonna be like, brother, this Chinese guy's a thing for me right now. You know what I mean? So it might. So I'm open to see what happens. You know what I mean?
No, I hear that. So I know you mentioned family in there. So say like you've grew up really family orientated, and then you meet someone like you said, family, and they have no interest, or they have no like relationship with their mum, their dad, brothers and sisters. Is that something you're then gonna look at and start to wonder if this person's for me?
Yeah. So I'd say like. The wisdom is, in the moment, you might like, that's not an issue.
Yeah.
Until you've been with that person, it's like Christmas time. Okay. And you're like, where's the family? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. Do you know what I mean? Or you realise, say it's a funeral, or it's a baby blessing, or this, that, and the other, and you're like, I haven't seen your family members in ages.
Yeah.
Oh, was that your cousin? Right. Like, just walked across the road, didn't even say hello. Do you know what I mean?
Say nothing.
So those sort of things, I'm like, in the moment, I may not feel it. But there may, later down the lines, it may be a ramification that you're like, this has got to move, this has got to change. It is non-negotiable. Do you know what I mean?
So do you think, like, is that something that you're then considering in the long run? Like, are you then thinking, wait there, if you've broken down in a relationship with your family, can you have long-term relationships?
Yeah, that's a fact.
It might not be, because everyone's different.
Yeah.
But like I would look into it like that. And that's something, I don't know, maybe that's not even a non-negotiable for me, but maybe that is something that's on a tick list to say at least has a relationship with their family.
Yeah.
But everyone's different. People might not even know their family. You might have come up in a different way.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what we're saying. That's why it can't be non-negotiable, because we don't know their circumstance.
Yeah. And their circumstances and the connection. I do think there are some connections that are just so deep that you're like, forget everything else, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like you may be going in there with like 2 kids, and then she may have like 5 kids, and then that's 7 kids, and you might be like, I actually wanted some more kids, but like 8 kids altogether.
That's a lot of kids, one.
Do you know what I mean? Can't really do that. So yeah, I do think those things mind, and as well as things like that may not even be on a list of relationships because you may not share them things that early, but like how much in debt is she?
Finance. I know.
Finance is a big
100%.
thing.
I think finance is a big thing.
Or how does she? Because even if she earns like 2 times your salary, but she spends it.
Yeah. How are you with money?
She doesn't know how to handle it at all. Or people that are so overly, look at my nails. I need to get my nails done every day. I need to get makeup done. I can't just have a fun on a random one. Do you know what I mean? Those things might be non-negotiables. Do you know what I mean? So
let me throw something out there. It's another subject.
Talk it.
It's another subject, but just as we're on relationships, she does OnlyFans.
Oh, brother.
Like
you love an OF combo, innit? You love an OF combo.
When have I even spoken about it before?
I'm just saying, innit? I'm just saying.
What I'm saying
if she does
is
OF, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So is that a non-negotiable or? So this is not your girlfriend. This is someone you're meeting and you're pursuing. Maybe a few dates. Yeah. And you may know, you may not know.
First of all, it might depend on what the OF is.
Okay.
Because if it's just toes and... But nah, jokes. Oh no, for real. I could be friends with somebody who's got an OF.
Okay.
But I don't know if I can't. To be
You're
honest,
not pursuing.
I couldn't pursue that. Anything other than, do you know what I mean? I might put a bally on enjoying the only OF team.
Yeah, makes sense.
Sign a little contract, 2 episodes.
Get a little money off that.
But
okay, so for you, OF is a non-negotiable.
I think so, yeah.
What about?
But the thing is, again, speaking with OF, like, depends on how honest somebody is when you start chatting to them. Yeah. Because nobody tells you everything about them necessarily at the beginning. Of course not. So I may not realize until like, oh, rah, we've actually linked up. This is my official a month in. Rah, now you're telling me a bit more different information.
Now you're telling me where the Mercedes GLS come from.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay. So what about like lighter than that? What about like the Instagram? Like say. So I say like an aspiring influencer.
Okay, shout out to
through
you
underwear
influencers
that models in smaller brand underwear.
To be fair, I wouldn't. On the offset, I'd be calm with it, but I need to understand. I need to understand her understanding of where she wants to take this.
Okay.
So if her desire is to eventually, boom, be like on BMF, do you know what I mean? Stateside. Topless in movies thing, or if that's just a little thing that she's, do you know what I mean, trying to earn a little cash from. I think all of it's perspective, and I don't think we have the forthright to see how far down the line like things go and life may take. Because 2's bills might need to get paid, and I'll be like, yo, babes, you need to show a little bit more.
You have to just let one. You have to just let one side dive.
Yeah.
No, but I hear that, and the thing is, like you said,
I want to ask you something as well. Go on.
Through like doing a finance thing, if it's someone that's got their head screwed on, like we, wrongly or rightly, we got this like assumption that girls that do this are like bimbos. They don't really know, they do that because they can't. But behind the scenes, a lot of it, they're smart, like really intelligent, really business. Like you don't make whatever they make, $1 million a month or whatever they make. Some of the high end influencers and high end OF girls, they don't make that by just being pretty, because everybody would do it. They're actually really intelligent behind the scenes, or they got a team behind them. So I guess, like you said, if you have that conversation and it's not just I'm here because I got nothing else to do. I've got a nice body, so I'll sell it. If they're like, this is my business platform, and not to say, we're not just saying they have to have that, because it goes both ways. But
because some females may say the same about man them that pushing drugs
or rappers,
who are pursuing certain farm. Yo, man just needs a music video to pop. Man needs a mixtape just to pop.
I swear. See, next week I'll look at our job, but right now my mixtape. I probably said it though.
I hear that.
I've said it. I've been there.
And to be
I know
fair,
what it's like.
And to be fair, it's situational and individual based, isn't it? Because some people are so charming that even though, boy, man's a hobo, man might do something for the girl that she likes and she'll stick on to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess to be fair, it just depends on what she can do when it's time to do what she needs to do. You know what I mean? That might sway sway opinions or thought patterns. You know what I mean?
If she shows her intelligence in a different way,
manners,
how the head game is okay.
Brain is very important.
Brain is. So I heard you briefly touch on drug dealers. That's another one, yeah. So that's another non-negotiable that I hear so much. Like, I would never be with a man that doesn't have a job. Basically, that's how the girls tried to flip it. If he doesn't have a job, but yet they will go and do the Instagram stuff with that man. So they go to the nice restaurants and take the pictures. They'll be in the man's car taking pictures and do that thing. But yet their non-negotiable is, I wouldn't be with a guy that doesn't have a job. But they're happy to go and spend that money.
Have him spend.
Have him spend the money, have her around. But in her head, she's saying, well, I wouldn't be with him, but, we're spending money.
Yeah. No, I hear that. And I guess the litmus test is relationship. What do we mean by that?
Yeah.
Because a dating thing's a dating thing, and you date primarily most people to find out more about an individual, to see where it could head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's something to be mindful of. Also, I'd say a non-negotiable, to some extent, is a girl's past.
100%.
Have to run a CRB and see where Wagwan.
Find out which guy she used to how many guys she. If it's more than that Bashi.
Because it's not
Bashi. How to pick a wifey, people. Bashi. Go listen to that. That was my rhythm growing up.
Yeah. That makes sense. Because it's not necessarily like a number. It's not what's her number.
It's not quantity. It's quality.
But what I mean is, it's not because at my age, I'm not asking the girl what her number is. You are,
100%.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's wild. Why
she could ask me mine?
Yeah, but do you think she's gonna tell the truth?
I hope she does, because she don't want to get caught out and find out.
What's the number
of what?
What's the number where you say, nah, that's too much, I'm running?
I don't know. Nah, but it's not even what's the number. Yeah, it's more quality over quantity.
I don't understand.
So,
because if you're asking her,
at our age now, if a girl's telling me 30 man, then you're saying breaking that down, that might only be 2 man a year for 10 years, for over the past 15 years or how long it is. I don't even.
Yeah.
You know them ones. That's So over 15 years, that might be 2 man a year.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. That's 1 man every 6 months. If you're single in your IT, you're not in a relationship. Okay. Or even if you was in a relationship for a couple of years and then...
That's a lot though.
You know? I'm not saying it's not a lot, but I'm saying when you break it down, it's a bit different. If you're talking 50s or 100s, then that's hard to break down what still. For a man and a woman.
But what female's going to admit to that, having that number?
No, of course they're not going to admit to that.
Exactly. So what, you just ask the number to see what her facial reaction is?
Well, then, do you know what? Do you know what it is though? I think once you start to get to know someone, you kind of realise... quickly.
That's wild what you're saying.
You don't think so?
What you're insinuating. Go on.
I think you realise like when they tell the truth, when they can lie, when they slip up in situations.
I thought you were saying.
Oh, you started by the feel and them. Nah, you're mad. You're mad.
I thought you were insinuating. You're like she hasn't done. She's done 4, but last night that was wait.
What's like thing?
Where'd you learn that from? I'm like wait. 3? Nah.
What I'm saying is, so they're like, so you might be talking about a situation, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, yeah, this, bam, and they're like, oh, that one time when I stayed in Birmingham in a wait there, you didn't tell me you stayed in Birmingham in a hotel with that brother? No, because so that's a next, you know? And I'm not saying that happens, but you know, then suddenly that slips out, and then there might be another situation where something else slips out, and you're like, wait there, you told me 4, but you've already just given me 6 hotels that you stayed in. That doesn't include, you know what that was?
But are you serious? Is a number really a
no, I didn't say
you're just talking about in general.
You said you wouldn't ask. I said I would ask. I'm not saying the number.
Yeah, I just think that's
no.
wild.
I'm saying you have to take the number into context.
But I just don't think anyone's telling the truth or who's keeping numbers. I don't. In my head, I just like
listen, big man. If you're like me and it's low. I mean, you keep them numbers, big man. If it's low like mine, you can keep them numbers. Banter.
The banter of this.
Are you mad?
I'm not saying it's banter for you. I just think this topic is banterful because I'm not sure who's writing in the back of their diary like this person today, like this person on this day. Like, do you know?
But I think
this the partners. That's wild.
Is that wild?
I just think it's wild, isn't it?
I feel that's some self-respect, man.
Okay, no, I respect that.
At least know where you're dashing the things, right? If you're gonna dash the things out, at least know where you dash them out.
No, yeah,
this is how people come 10 years later with you. It's like you don't even remember that you even slept with the girl. You just 10. What? I don't know you. You know what that was? I don't know it. For me,
you know what? Yeah,
for me, and I'll be honest as well. It goes both ways. I'm not expecting someone to tell me about them and me not to tell. Whether I judge you or not, that comes down to how I feel inside. I might not even want to judge you, but slyly, I am. And they may feel the same.
Tutus, I don't know if I'd ever ask, innit?
Okay, well that's respectable.
But For me personally, I just like it doesn't change anything in it.
Okay.
Because if she does tell me, it does change something. If she tells me 286,
jeez,
that's just my brain can't fathom. Do you know what I mean? As well as if she said 2, I don't know if I can believe.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe.
So what for you? What is a respectable number at our age now?
I don't know if I could a respectable number.
No, I'm saying for you. I'm not
for me.
Like if you're speaking to someone and they said a number.
Nah, situational, bro. It's all situational. If they have kids, it has to be a low number.
Okay, because you expect them to be in a relationship.
Exactly. You got to say under. You got to say 8 or below, 10 or below.
Okay.
If you got kids, if you got only for kids, yeah, you're 10 or below. You've got to be with that guy for years and just been that guy for a good period of time. If it's like boom. If she's single, single. If she's not had kids, and she's not been in like known relationships, I wouldn't ask her, but I'd assume I'm putting 25 bodies on it at least. I'm putting 25 on it.
When you think 25 is a lot, isn't it? In the terms of
for a female, I don't know why I feel like this way. For a female, I think.
Well, we spoke about this on the last one where we were saying the mentality of. The man's thing is to go out, and for a female, it's like the opposite. But 25 seems a lot, but I would say 25 is probably about average. I reckon now our age.
Nah, I don't think that's average, you know.
You don't reckon? I reckon by the time you hit mid-30s, no? Because remember, we're talking 2 a year.
Yeah, I think that's
2 a year.
I'm expecting people, female. So again, if a gal's in her late 30s, I'm expecting her to tell me I've been in 3 long relationships. The fact that her number's high is worrying to me. Unless she said, "Look, boom, I had a 2-year period where I went to uni." If she said I went to uni at a time, then I'll be like, yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Different experience of remember what they say is when people finish relationships, they go on a rebind.
That's what I'm saying.
That might be 2-3 people.
Yeah.
Before they settle back down again. So that might be within a short amount of time.
So that's respectable. If I know, boom, she's
that might be after every long-term relationship.
That's calm.
So we're talking 4 every time.
No, but she said she had 3 relationships. I'm not asking her number. I know it's a calm. I know it's a calm one because it should be a calm one. It should be 3 officials for at least a year, 2 year, 3 years each, and then in between she might have had some sprints.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, these sprints aren't acceptable, ladies. I'm gonna be honest with you. Can't be having too many sprints. You're a grown woman now. You know what I mean?
So,
you can have a sprint when you're in your teens and in your 20s, and that's it.
What, you can't sprint in your 30s?
No, females, no. The women's got to have a bit more respect.
Why?
That's my opinion, cuz.
You sure, Tate? Yeah, free up Tate, yeah?
I'm just saying.
They should be at home cooking, cleaning, whilst the man,
if we're talking about lists, if a girl can't cook,
okay,
I'm baffled by that.
Okay,
I say girl, but no adult mid-30s cannot cook. I'm
man or woman.
But since we're talking about a list,
because remember these what we're talking about, these ticks, these lists, these traits are transferable. They apply to both man and female, woman and man, them, whoever you're trying to be in a relationship with. You know that it applies to everyone. One thing I wanted to talk about on that list on the list of people, what are the non-negotiables on that list of people?
What do you mean?
Like what are the non-negotiables? So you're speaking to a girl and she comes and says, "Yeah, okay, I've slept with 4 people. These are the people."
Okay.
Who on there is? That's it. We're out. Like, not even in a bad mind way, but just in a way of, like, we can't go no further than fooling around.
That's a good point, fam. Because there is, again, people that are watching and listening. This is a small town, innit?
It is a very small town.
So there are specific individuals